What's up, guys? I'm Ulysses,
My name is Emiliano.
and today we're going to do a movie review on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is the ninth film by Quentin Tarantino, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie. This film was released in July, I believe.
Yeah, last summer.
It's April, and we just watched it, and we blame it on our friends for not telling us this was such a good movie and kind of hyping us up to watch it. But doesn't matter. We watched it, and
Both thought it was a great movie.
yeah, it was an amazing movie.
Boiling down to the fact, this is a great movie. So pretty much the movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio as Rick Dalton, which is like an out-of-touch actor who, started in the golden age of acting, back in,
1969.
1969. He played in a big series called Bounty Law, and he was pretty much known for this one series.
Mm-hmm.
And at his side was his best friend / stuntman, Cliff Booth, played by Brad Pitt.
Mm-hmm.
So it pretty much follows, the whole entire movie pretty much follows these two characters as, Rick Dalton, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, is trying to come to terms that his career might not be going as where he wanted it to go. He's not going to be starring in those big movies.
Leonardo DiCaprio is like, I wouldn't say a starving actor, but he definitely is thinking his future in the career. He doesn't want to be like that one guy known to play that one character in Bounty Law, which is a lot of where actors find themselves after playing a big role in a TV show. And that just happened. Let me comparison.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston was also in other movies as well, which maybe like Ross from Friends. Like Friends, like some of those characters. Although they're still generating a lot of money from that one show, like you haven't really seen them in playing a lot of roles.
Rick Dalton doesn't want to be one of those actors, and right now every script he's getting, every role that he's getting, he's pretty much a plot device for the bad guy. I mean, for the good guy of a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Like a new up and coming show comes out, Rick Dalton is cast as, they call it, quote, the heavy, where, the good guy has to take on Rick, which is the bad guy, and he takes him on in one episode in the first week, and he's never heard from for the rest of the show. That's pretty much where Rick Dalton is in his acting career.
Yeah.
And that's affecting Cliff, his best friend, because he's also his stuntman.
Yeah. And this guy Al Pacino comes in, basically Schwartz. He has a sit down talk with Rick Dalton, and he tells him exactly what he just said. Hey, you're always playing the bad guys. Why don't you try playing something new? Here's an opportunity. I have an opportunity for you to be starred in what's known as quote unquote spaghetti westerns. So yeah, the movie is kind of about like his long term goals as an actor while keeping his best friend with him at all times, who's Brad Pitt, and together they're like a dynamic duo. He's doing stunts for him, and not only that, outside of the work, they're friends. They hang out, they drink together, they watch TV, just like regular buddies would do, which is why it's such a relatable movie, and anybody could watch it and be kind of relate to it, even if you're not like a big actor or anything like that, or So, so the thing about this film and the flaws that I've heard from people is that it doesn't follow like a linear structure that a movie should follow, like beginning, middle, climax, and
every scene in this movie has nothing to do with the previous scene. It's kind of similar to Pulp Fiction, where like there's just story. It tells a story, then another story, then another story, and it all comes down at the end.
Yeah.
This one, it's not. I can't even say stories and stories. It's just like events that happen in these two guys' lives.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino does so good. In his movies, he does build all this tension to like a rising top, and then just crumbles all down with like this epic scene that happens. And I don't know why anybody would slander Quentin Tarantino's ninth film like that, because it does what Inglourious Basterds did in a just different scene, a different setting. I'm gonna give the film a straight up 9.
9?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. I think this was a great movie. At first I gave it an 8.5. It was a good movie immediately after I watched it. But then, the next day I kept thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
And it just kept thinking. And movies like that, they stick with you, and I bumped it up to a 9 as well. Now something that we like to do on this channel is look at other reviews, see what other people thought, and pretty much react to,
talk shit about them.
Yeah, pretty much.
So right here, 85% certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. 70% of the audience liked it.
Should bump that up. Should have been a 90.
As a technical exercise, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is wonderfully realized. It would be fun to be able to explore the world in 1969 Los Angeles that Tarantino has reconstructed. If only there was anything else redeeming in this film.
So what Ryan Silverstein is trying to say is that the only good thing about this movie is the cinematography, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think we
The sets are awesome. Everything's awesome.
I don't think we watched the same movie because even if people don't like this movie, they still say that Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt played great. You know, had great.
They played great roles.
This guy gave it half a star. Half a star. This had to be the most self-indulgent piece of crap ever made. I fell asleep twice. Oh, so you didn't even watch the movie? You fell asleep. You didn't even watch the movie. I don't know why you're writing a review for the movie if you didn't even watch it.
Some people just should have their internet privileges revoked if they say shit like that.
Sean O says, after 2 hours, I stopped watching. Don't even care how to know it ended. This guy doesn't even know what happened.
It's because some people are on Instagram and Twitter and they're on Vine so much that they're used to like just instant gratification all the time, and it's hard for them. For some people to keep attention to like something good, and like their mind span just doesn't operate like that. So
he says,
okay.
I'll probably never end bother. He says. So that doesn't even make sense. But
so he needs to go back to school as well.
I'll probably never end bother to find out how it ends. Oh, he'll never bother to find out how it ends. Dude, and he doesn't even know how it ended, which is the best part of the movie.
Sean O, you're dumb as my bad. Sorry for my language, but that's what he is. This guy gives it half a star. This was his movie review. This movie sucks. Period. That's the last shit I'm reading about that. Right? Ciao, bro.
Anyways.
So, this movie does not suck. Don't believe
this
what
movie's a great
anybody
movie.
says.
Watch it.
I think it was good.
Let us know about your opinion.
I mean, if you're used to like I said before, like if you have a hard time concentrating on movies and keeping track with things, this movie isn't for you, to be honest. If the film for you that you'd probably like to enjoy more would probably be like Transformers. What's another film? Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Please like and subscribe. If you didn't like this video, like it anyway.